Okay, so in this video we'll take a look at how you can test your IR sensors that are these modules that you get, and your servo motor, that is this small actuator that you can use. So you'll get 2 servo motors and 3 IR sensors. So let's take a look at how to connect them. So you must have 3 cables here. These are called relay-mate connectors, 3-pin relay-mate connectors. Now to connect them, we'll do 2 things. First is one instruction. You upload your jig file onto this, the one for testing IR. Make sure that your D0 nano is properly connected from all sides. Your power is connected properly in the correct orientation, and the switch is turned off. Okay. Also the buck converter. So yeah, once you are ready with that, let's take a look at the pinouts. So you can use an image. The colored image is the better way of looking at it. But if you see here, IR1, IR2, IR3 are the 3 ports or 3 connectors that we have provided for you to connect the 3 IR sensors given. So if you see here in the orientation, the first pin, that is first pin from the right side, is 5 volt, middle one is ground, and the last one is output. Okay, so what we'll do is, I'll take the PCB, I'll take my first cable. This cable only goes in one way, so I'll put this in. Then I'll repeat the process for all of them. Whenever you put it in, you will hear a small pop sound. Also, again, a reminder to check the orientation of your level shifter module, that is this. All of them should have LV on the outside, HV on the inside. Okay, once all 3 of them are connected, now let's check our pin out. So according to the pin out, the rightmost pin is 5 volt, the middle is ground, and the last one is out, which is consistent with the pin out given on the module, that is VCC ground output. So you just have to line up one of the pins, and rest 3 will be lined up. So the outer one in our case is 5 volt. So the color of 5 volt is black. So here is the pin. So if you look at the first one, the color of 5 volt is black. If you look at the middle one, the color of 5 volt is red, and for the last one, the color of 5 volt is black. So you have to check the orientation of the cable, because not all the cables are crimped in the same order. So you need to check which pin is connected where. So first pin is 5 volt in all of our cases. So let's connect it to 5 volt. Now I'll take the first connector, I'll take the first module, I'll check which is the 5 volt. So this one, if you look here, the first pin from the left is 5 volt, VCC, that is 5 volt. Now to connect that, I need to align the black of this with the first pin of this, which is like this. So see, the black one, that is the first, is lined up to the. Similarly, now in this case, the red one should be aligned to the VCC. So VCC, that is the first pin, is lined up with the red. And finally the last guy, that is this. So here the black again, here again the first pin is black, that is VCC, 5 volt is connected to the black on my sensor. So be careful with the sensor orientation, otherwise you won't be able to get the data. If you look at the sensor module, there is a small potentiometer. A potentiometer is basically a variable resistor. By rotating the potentiometer, you can change the range at which your IR sensor is triggered. So by tuning the potentiometer, you can change whether the IR sensor is triggered when obstacle is this close, this close, this close, and so on. So you can change the range by tuning the potentiometer. Okay, so then coming towards the servo motors, let's take a look here. Okay, so these are the servo motors. It will come with a bunch of horns. Depending on what mechanism do you decide, you can use any of them to mount that mechanism on. For now, I'll just tell you how to use the servo motor, and the mounting and the mechanical design part of it is up to you. So be creative about that. So let's take a look here. So this is how your servo motor will look like. You'll have 2 of them. So let's remove both of them out for now. Yeah, so here, as you can see on the pin out, S1, that is here, and S2, which is here, stands for servo 1 and servo 2. So let's connect our first servo. If you check the orientation, the rightmost is the output, middle is 5 volt, and last is ground. Same for here. The innermost is output, mid is 5 volt, and ground. So be careful with the connections. The first servo rightmost is output. So in this case, yellow is output and brown is output and brown is ground. So let's go. So here I'll take my S1. This is servo 1. Yellow will be output, so yellow will be connected to the first pin from the left side. Okay, so this is how it will look. Now for the second one, here yellow should be inside because according to the pin out, the output is in the first pin from the left side. So again, same orientation from both ends. So now my servo is connected. Finally, before starting, now you can place your IR sensors separate from each other, check your connections again, and finally take your battery. Okay, so once done with the connection, check your battery voltage. That is one of the issues that we had before. So this is a new battery which we have connected. Now check your connection once again, and to see if the servo is moving, we'll be attaching these two attachments that come with the servo. So I'll attach it here and we'll do it both ways. So I'll hold one servo at a time so you can see both those moving. So I'll move the shaft a bit so if you can see the servo moving. So I'll turn it on and the motor will move. Okay, so yeah, see this motor is also moving depending on what is triggered. So if you look at the IR sensors and take a screwdriver, you should be able, if currently it is getting triggered when my hand is near here. If I want to increase that range, I will just turn this potentiometer. By turning the potentiometer, I can increase or decrease the range. Now the range is much higher. Now I can reduce the range by turning it other way around. So now the range is closer. So similarly, you can tune all of those IR sensors, and based on what you react, the servo will react. That is what the testing code does. So yeah, the third one is not connected, of course. These two are the servos that you can toggle, and based on what you do here, your servo motor will react, go back or forth, and something like that. Okay, so that is it about the servo motors. If you still have doubt and are unsure if why the motor is not moving, take the motor in hand, rotate it a bit by your own hand, and when you turn the power back on, the servo will reset itself to its original position. So if the reset is happening, that means everything is fine. I'll again rotate this one again and start it out. It will reset itself. So yeah, saying that, that's the end of this video.